So hello, welcome to this backtesting of V75 and other indexes. I'd like to check if my GBP JPY strategy will work on this V75. So I'd like to see some sort of behavior. My overall check profit is on this support, and that for a big lot size it will be 207 pips. For a small lot size it will be about 21 pips. Okay, it will be about 21 pips. So whatever, I don't know why it's refusing to enter my short, but the reason why I've taken this trade is because, first of all, I'm trying to find a strategy that works for both sides. Okay, now I came and found that for my strategy I identified that this is a good support zone from the weekly, and I went down to the daily. It gave me this support zone. Now after the reaction, the good retest at this point, which can be clearly seen in the 1 hour or the 30-minute time frame, we can see that clearly structure, it was retested, then it broke above. Now this was our break of structure. Now considering this was a break of structure, mostly in the 1 hour, we would identify that price may likely drop to test 78.6, then touch 78.6 and keep pushing up. Now as we had seen here, price clearly did not touch. It touched the 78.6 here, like you can identify here. Here's a 78.6 line. Let me change the color so that it might be a bit more visible. So as you can see here, let's see if we can thicken it a little bit. As you can see, this is my 78.6. Now we touch the 78.6. Instead of pushing back and testing back into our area, which is and testing back into this area, we saw that price instead pushed to the price instead pushed to the touched 78.6 and closed below. Now that closure below tells us that we should be expecting a counter setup. Okay, now what can we see clear about the counter setup? About the counter setup, what is clear is that you can see that there is a range, clear small range here. When we check the range to the downside, we have a huge range to the downside. Okay, so giving power possibly to the downside. Now our entry, our type B counter entry, will be something of this sort. We have taken that entry. Okay, and where I've taken that entry, now this is the area that I'm not expecting price to break. Okay, after price touches that, I think we'll be checking on risk management ways that maybe we can be putting our stop loss slightly above this area. Okay, so that price may have great time to play and play around Apple. So but now if you can check in a 0.1, which is about a 30 something pip, but in a 0.001 it's about a $3.09, about a $4 risk. Okay, now it's a $4 risk to make about 21 pips on the first take profit, which will lead us back to our major area of support, which is inside this area, which the gray line is my daily support and the purple line is my weekly support. Now when price hits my take profit one, I'll be considering to take profits in this area. Why? Because first of all, there is a strong demand area almost close to that area. Okay, so maybe you can see some reaction of price behavior around that area. Maybe there is a major support level somewhere. Let's see. Considering this was my weekly, now maybe considering checking on the daily. As you can see on the daily, that's a pretty good area, so tunaweza ona some sort of reaction from there. But if that does not happen, now as we saw here, so I'm expecting the type B counter. And some things that I realized as I pushed down here, as you can see, the Bollinger Bands are clearly open. Okay, when we move down to where the setup occurs, there's been a small contraction in this area. Okay, the small contraction in this area is what? A contraction of the Bollinger Bands inside this area. Okay, now the small contraction, as we have seen, the small contraction is due to this consolidation within this area. Okay, now from that consolidation I can see that price did not close above the higher Bollinger Band. Okay, and here at this point it closed, I think in the 2 hour, in the 1 hour, yes, it closed below the 20, is it? Yeah, the 20 Bollinger Band. Okay, the moving average is clearly below. Here, when we move to lower time frame, we have touched, and some sort of reaction is happening around there, around the Bollinger Band, and that is what I'm considering. Where our setup is currently, the Bollinger Band, price has closed below. Okay, price closed strongly below the Bollinger Band. I believe this will be, I'll do my back testing and see how many times do we close below the Bollinger Band and keep pushing in the direction that we estimated, or how many times do we close below the Bollinger Band and move down in the direction. Now as you can see, this is closer, this Bollinger Band is closer. Let me edit this Bollinger Band to bit of a blue. Okay, and that is clear. So there it is, and I used to have an indicator called the TDI. I'll be monitoring that also to see what are the possibilities of all this falling in line. Okay, so to chartist calculator is there. Let's see how to chartist operates under this types of advisors. How to chartist, yes. So from there we press OK, and you see, sorry, then you see how price reacts from these areas. Okay, now I don't know which one, if my net will be enough to allow the loading. So let's see if price walked up in a direction. So I'll be moving my stop loss into this area. I'm considering adding the 38% seems my net. So this 38, copy, then add it up. Okay, so this will be 0. Okay, so there it is. So I'll be considering putting my stop loss here in such an area. If price will be playing at well, I'll be considering putting it at an area where it is safe. Okay, now I want to see how this price behaves. If we're going to drop clearly to the downside, we're going to see how we'll be involving a bunch of indicators to see whether which one will be giving us, because here we don't have volume. Now I prefer looking for the best possible indicator to show me which specific direction I'm headed to. So I'll be watching this trade closely to see if it happens well. I'll monitor the price and see how things goes. My network is a bit stunting, but I hope it works out. So let's see how things goes. I'll pause this.
As you can see, price is moving comfortably to the downside, meaning the sell in this area has held up its part, and we may be possibly, as we pulled our fib from down below here to the upper part, this area held up, so I was thinking of trailing my stop loss to such an area as this. Okay, this will reduce my risk, which will lead to 22 pips. Here it will be about 2.2 pips. Okay, now I'll be risking less to make more, which is certainly a good deal on my side. So this is what I'll be looking at. On the 0.01 currently running about $23, on the 0.001 currently running about $2. So we want to see how far this goes. Okay, the first take profit will be about $86 for the first TP. Okay, and we'll see where the rest goes. I'm checking for this whole downward push, so still risking about 2.22 pips to make this remaining this other remaining portion. So I'll be looking at what I can do more to ensure that this area is well identified. Let's check here. My take profit is, so I'll copy this, I'll paste it somewhere here, and there it is. So there it is. I'd like to see this push continue dropping, and this is V75. I want to monitor specifically the price. I want to monitor the price mostly in the area where my setup was, which is in this 1 hour time frame. Okay, my clear break of structure. I'd like to see what gives me that this whatever momentum broke here was low. So I'll be checking indicators such as, we have the, what was it called, MACD. So I want to see what type of momentum did price break here with. So there's nothing clear I can say about that. Nothing there. What other one? MACD. We had the let's check MACD indicators. MACD or awesome oscillator was one. So let's see what type of momentum we broke with here. So as you can see, this is clearly another sign. Okay, this is something that we have seen, that this candle pushed and closed bullish. Okay, it closed bullish, but the volume indicated, the awesome oscillator indicated that it's a sign of a sell. It's weak. That's what I'll have to interpret it with. Okay, so that's what I'll have to check on that with. Yeah, let's check if there's another one. Break of structure. This is green. Break of structure. This is nothing. So we'll have to do our back testing and see how far this goes. So for now, that is it. In the lower time frame, we can see that there is some sort of divergence in this area. Okay, is divergence within this area to this area. So we are marking such probabilities and seeing whether one time they will work on towards our favor. So we want to see there is this divergence from this area. Okay, as price is pushing to the upside, the oscillator is showing weakness. So that's some of the things we may consider. This is at the 30-minute one time frame from where the setup actually happened. Okay, so we'll be observing to see how price behaves. running a good 35 pips, so I'm expecting a continuous drop to the downside. This is just a demo trial. Soon enough, if it works out well, we'll be able to identify the right things and make sure that we maximize on capital. Okay.